What's up, it's Will from SC Highlights here, and today we're going to address part 2 of this 2-part series. If you have not seen part 1 yet, click the link in the description below and be sure to check it out. While you're at it, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any of our weekly videos. These number 1 overall recruits come from 247 Sports' high school prospect list of their specific graduation year. Without further ado, let's get into it. In the class of 2005, we got offensive tackle Eugene Monroe from Plainfield, New Jersey. I know the offensive line isn't a glorified position, but they are essential for helping the offense succeed. His family was among one of the largest in the entire state as he grew up the youngest of 16 children. His 10 brothers served as role models for Monroe, who finished high school standing at 6'5" and 320 pounds. This dude was a beast. Eugene was dominant at Plainfield High as he did not allow a single quarterback sack for the last 3 years of his tenure under the lights. He was selected to the All-State first team his junior and senior year and was regarded as the best lineman in the country. After playing in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, he committed to Virginia over Maryland and Miami. While at Virginia, Monroe continued to succeed as he allowed just 2 sacks throughout his whole collegiate career. During his sophomore and junior years, he suffered a dislocated kneecap and a sprained knee, respectively. He was named first-team All-ACC during his senior season and was a bright spot on an unimpressive Virginia offense that scored just 23 total touchdowns. He also obtained a degree in sociology after graduating from UVA. Heading into the 2009 NFL Draft, scouts were drooling all over his athleticism and put him down as one of the best tackles in the entire draft. Monroe was selected with the 8th overall pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Monroe started immediately in Jacksonville as he was a valuable player on the line. During the 2013 season, Monroe was traded to the Ravens for a 4th and 5th round selection in the 2014 NFL Draft. Monroe's career would never get back on track as he suffered knee injuries, ankle injuries, shoulder injuries, as well as concussions. Nothing was going right for this dude. After spending just 3 seasons in Baltimore, Monroe was released and decided to retire. He cited the reason for his retirement was a result of signs of memory loss he had been experiencing and fears over developing CTE that could damage his brain for the rest of his life. Following his retirement, Monroe has devoted most of his time towards advocating for legal use of cannabis in the NFL. He had stated that he spent his time in the NFL taking the drugs the team doctors prescribed to him, but he feels like marijuana has been able to most effectively heal his body from all of the injuries he has sustained. He is looking to work with the NFL to finally allow players to use cannabis without any repercussions. From the class of 2006, we have yet another offensive tackle in Andre Smith from Birmingham, Alabama. While attending Huffman High School, Smith played football and threw shot put and discus. Smith was clearly the best offensive lineman in the country as he recorded 88 pancake blocks his senior season, and he was named to 2 All-State teams. He was so good, in fact, that he was the first offensive lineman to be named Alabama's Mr. Football by the Alabama Sports Writers Association. His athleticism resulted in him being named one of 4 finalists for the Walter Payton Award. He announced his commitment to Alabama in dramatic fashion as he put on a houndstooth hat similar to the one legendary Alabama head coach Bear Bryant used to wear. He went on to start nearly every single game with the Crimson Tide and was named a consensus All-American. He became the first Alabama offensive lineman since Chris Samuels in 1999 to win the Outland Trophy given to the nation's best lineman. This dude was all about pancakes and getting the syrup. He recorded 62 pancakes his freshman year, including 24 pancakes over a 3-game span. Smith experienced a slip-up towards the end of his time with the Tide as he was suspended for the 2009 Sugar Bowl. He was suspended for interacting with an agent other than his own. He declared for the draft following this incident and put up unimpressive numbers at the combine. He ran a 5.28 second 40-yard dash and only put up 19 reps for the bench press. More drama ensued as he left the combine early without informing his group leader. His poor combine lowered his draft stock. Smith was eventually selected as the 6th overall draft pick in the 2009 NFL Draft by the Cincinnati Bengals. Smith's career got off to a rocky start as he held out from signing his contract, missing all of training camp in 3 games of the 2010 preseason. Smith then fractured his left foot and missed 10 games of his rookie season. Not a great way to start his NFL career. The following season, he suffered another foot fracture that kept him out for the Bengals' remaining 8 games. Smith finally flashed his run and pass blocking abilities as he was the starting right tackle and was a part of the offensive line that only allowed 25 sacks throughout the whole season. Smith continued to have success, but suffered concussions during the 2014 and 2015 season. The injury bug plagued Andre several times over the next few seasons, as his 2016 season was cut short with the Vikings after he tore his tricep. In 2017, he returned to the Bengals and injured his knee. The following year, he spent time with the Cardinals, where he sustained an elbow injury, before signing with the Bengals for the 3rd time. In January 2020, Smith was signed by the Baltimore Ravens, who looked to use the veteran to help support their depleted offensive line. Smith has had a decent NFL career so far to this point. He hasn't quite lived up to his potential, but that may be due to all of the injuries he has sustained throughout his career. I am sure he will be a key piece on the Ravens' offensive line during the upcoming season. In the class of 2007, we have running back Joe McKnight from River Ridge, Louisiana. Unfortunately, McKnight's story is a tragic one. McKnight grew up in River Ridge, Louisiana, where he attended John Curtis Christian High School, a private school that has produced the likes of Reggie Dupard and Jonathan Wells. McKnight's father was not present during his upbringing, so his mother, Jennifer McKnight, worked 3 jobs in order to provide for him and his siblings. McKnight originally played cornerback for the Patriots, but eventually switched to running back. Before his junior season in 2005, Hurricane Katrina destroyed their home and caused McKnight to relocate to Shreveport. His family returned to River Ridge and lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. McKnight accounted for 22 total touchdowns and averaged 18 yards per play as he did just about everything for the Patriots. He was even more impressive his senior year as he led John Curtis Christian to a state championship as he accounted for more than 30 total touchdowns. He also had an incredible breakaway speed as he was recorded running a 4.4 second 40-yard dash while in high school. McKnight was seen along with quarterback Jimmy Clausen as the top players in the class of 2007. He was named the Co-Player of the Year by Parade magazine. It appeared McKnight was set to sign with LSU under head coach Les Miles, who went on to win the national championship just the following year, but at the last moment committed to USC. He looked to join the line of great Heisman-winning running backs who have come out of Southern California, including O.J. Simpson, Marcus Allen, and Reggie Bush. USC ran into some trouble with the NCAA as it was revealed that Reggie Bush had contacted McKnight and persuaded him to join the Trojans. The accusations were denied and nothing ended up coming out of it. Due to his raw talent and versatility, McKnight was dubbed the next Reggie Bush. McKnight began his career with the Trojans playing sparingly, as he suffered several strange and unfortunate injuries, but had a breakout campaign during his junior season, as he finished with 1,014 yards and 8 rushing touchdowns, while averaging 6.2 yards per carry. More drama ensued as he was caught driving in a Land Rover SUV that he should not have been able to afford, and as a result was kept out from playing in the 2009 Emerald Bowl. McKnight declared for the 2010 draft, and he was selected in the 4th round by the Jets. He was ready to tap into his potential that he wasn't able to develop completely while at USC. He spent 3 years in New York, largely serving as a rotational running back and an electric kick returner. In 39 games with the Jets, McKnight amassed 502 rushing yards and 177 receiving yards. He also recorded 29 yards per return on kickoffs and 2 touchdowns during a successful stint on special teams. In In 2011, his 31.6 yards per return ranked number 1 among all qualified players. Heading into 2013, McKnight failed his physical for not having enough body fat and was very dehydrated. He was arrested for a traffic violation and also suffered a concussion. These mishaps and injuries eventually led to his release before the season even began. McKnight signed with the Chiefs, but he appeared in only 2 games before tearing his Achilles. He then made his way to the Canadian Football League, where he played with the Edmonton Eskimos and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, totaling 38 rushes for 228 yards with the latter. On December 1st, 2016, in broad daylight, McKnight was shot and killed by Ronald Gasser after an altercation arose from a road rage incident. McKnight was unarmed and apparently had been swerving in and out of lanes. Gasser had also been involved in another road rage incident 10 years before for punching someone. Gasser was initially released without any charges, but after an investigation into second-degree murder, Gasser was found guilty in January 2018 and sentenced to 30 years in prison once the jury came to a 10-2 decision. No one's life should be taken away from them at a young age, and no one should ever have to die as a result of a gun. McKnight should be remembered as an outstanding athlete who did not deserve the ending he got. He was a hero for every football player in South Louisiana, including Chiefs safety Tyrann Mathieu, emulated his running style and his athletic ability and wanted to become just like him. In the 2008 class, we have defensive end DaQuan Bowers from Bamberg, South Carolina. Bowers attended Bamberg-Ehrhardt High School, where he played defensive end and running back, and was a star shot put thrower and sprinter on the track team. As a senior, he led the Red Raiders to an 11-2 record, where he recorded an impressive 97 tackles, including 33 tackles for a loss, 14 sacks, and scored a total of 19 touchdowns while at running back. Coming out of high school as the top-ranked recruit, Rivals.com compared the top-notch defensive end to that of legends Reggie White and Bruce Smith. He was 6'5", 270 pounds, and could run the 40-yard dash in 4.5 seconds. He deserved the title as the top recruit. He is also a talented musician and bassist, and played with his father's group, the legendary Singing Stars, while in high school and college. Bowers signed with the hometown team, the Clemson Tigers, as he became their highest-rated recruit up until 2018, when he lost that claim to Trevor Lawrence. He enrolled at Clemson early, as he looked to make a huge impact for a mediocre team that finished just 7-6 in 2008. He developed well under Coach Sweeney and posted his most impressive numbers his junior year when he recorded 67 tackles, 26 tackles for a loss, and 15.5 sacks. During his junior season training camp, his father, gospel musician Dennis Bowers, passed away. Shortly before that, his mentor and former Clemson defensive end, Gaines Adams, died unexpectedly. Interestingly, Bowers did not falter or digress in his performance on the field. In fact, he did quite the opposite. He was a unanimous All-American and was awarded the Bronco Nagurski Trophy, given to the best defensive player in college football. He declared following his outstanding 2010 season and was seen as a top prospect heading into the 2011 draft. This was not the case, however, as he was selected as the 51st overall draft pick by the Buccaneers. This may have been a result of an off-season knee surgery. This knee surgery revealed that he has a condition that could lead to arthritis in his knee and ultimately impact the rest of his playing career. NFL teams knew he had elite talent, but their awareness of the surgery made them have second thoughts. He had a decent rookie season, but the injury bug struck early as he tore his Achilles tendon before his sophomore year began. After the 2012 season, he was arrested for carrying an unloaded gun at the LaGuardia airport. He may have mistakenly had a gun in his bag, but he alerted authorities at the security checkpoint. He was charged with second-degree possession, but the charges were eventually dropped and he had to pay a $370 fine. His character issues led to speculation he would be released before the 2014 season. Everything continued to go wrong for Bowers, as he was then suspended for using performance-enhancing substances. Injuries, lack of success, and off-the-field issues led to his release before the 2015 season, as he accumulated just 69 tackles and 7 sacks after lasting 4 seasons in the NFL. He tried his hand in Canadian football as he signed with the Edmonton Eskimos and made his biggest impact in professional football as he recorded 7 sacks and 1 interception. Just 2 months after signing a 2-year contract extension, he announced his retirement. He came back to Clemson to complete his degree in Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Management and spent time with the Tigers as an undergraduate head coach. Bowers recently was named the South Florida Bulls' defensive line coach in December of 2019. And finally, in the 2009 class, we have quarterback Matt Barkley from Newport Beach, California. Barkley attended the prestigious Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana. He became the first freshman quarterback to start for Mater Dei since the infamous Todd Marinovich. He had a strong start to his high school career as he passed for 6,994 yards and 57 touchdowns through his first 3 years. He made national headlines as he was the first non-senior to win not only the 2007 Football Gatorade National Player of the Year, but also the 2007 Gatorade National Male Athlete of the Year. He was without a doubt the top player in the nation for the class of 2009. Despite speculation that he might sign with UCLA, the Sunshine State quarterback verbally committed to play for USC, following in the footsteps of former Mater Dei quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Matt Leinart. His senior year was a bit of a disappointment, as he only threw for 23 touchdowns to go with 18 interceptions. He doubled his interception total from the year before. He had fallen from the number 1 spot, but after a strong 2-touchdown performance in the Under Armour All-American game, he reclaimed his spot at the top, according to ESPN. His quarterback coach, Steve Clarkson, believed he could be the next Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, and Barkley was on the path to an illustrious career. He enrolled early at USC, and following the departure of Mark Sanchez, became the first true freshman to start an opener for the Trojans. He put up decent numbers during his freshman campaign as he led the Trojans to an 8-4 record, passing for 2,735 yards to go with 15 touchdowns. Less impressively, however, was the fact that he threw for 14 interceptions as well. Barkley entered his sophomore season under new head coach Lane Kiffin after Pete Carroll made the smart decision to take a job with the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL, amid a scandal that placed sanctions on the 2010 USC team. He played lights out during the next 2 seasons as he led USC to a record of 8-5 and 10-2 respectively. He passed for over 6,000 yards and threw for 65 touchdowns to just 19 interceptions during those 2 seasons. He was seen as a potential number 1 overall draft choice in the 2012 NFL Draft, but he made the biggest mistake of his life when he decided to stay in order to help USC win a national championship. Heading into his senior year, he was seen as a Heisman Trophy favorite, and USC had been ranked number 1 in the preseason poll. Everything fell apart for USC though, as they ended up losing 6 games as they finished 7-6. To make matters worse, during a loss against UCLA, linebacker Anthony Barr dislocated Barkley's shoulder, an injury that kept him out from playing in the Sun Bowl. Although it was a minor shoulder injury, this injury created mass speculation as to whether or not he would ever be the same again. Because of this same injury, he did not throw at the NFL Scouting Combine, a very concerning sign for any team looking to draft their quarterback of the future. Barkley fell all the way to the 4th round in the 2013 NFL Draft as he was selected by the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a 3rd-string option behind Nick Foles and Michael Vick and threw 4 interceptions and no touchdowns during his rookie season. After throwing just 1 pass in 2014, he was traded to the Cardinals, where he did not see any playing time at all. He was signed by the Bears, where he was able to have his first chance to start after an injury to Brian Hoyer and Jay Cutler. He nearly led the Bears to a victory over the Green Bay Packers after throwing for 362 yards and 2 touchdowns, but they ended up losing 30-27. Remember all those interceptions he had thrown back in high school? Well, not much had changed for him in the NFL, as he finished that season with the Bears with 8 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. He spent time with the Cardinals again, as well as the Bengals, before suffering a knee injury that kept him from seeing much playing time. He's currently with the Buffalo Bills, where he's the backup to Josh Allen. Unfortunately, due to his injury, Barkley was never able to excel on the NFL level. This is just another cautionary tale that even if you do everything right, it does not guarantee you will have all the success you wanted. As a result of his decision to stay at USC, Bleacher Report calculated missed out on $13 to $42 million in the first few years of his NFL career. We're going to have to look out for his son, John Barkley, in the future, as he clearly will follow in his father's footsteps. Despite the fact that all these recruits held the top prospect ranking for their respective class, they all went on to have very different careers. Adrian Pearson definitely put together the most successful career as a whole, as he won the NFL MVP in 2012. If you haven't already, click the link in the description below to check out part 1 of our series. If you have any video ideas for our next video/series, let us know in the comments below. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.